Alright, so for our chapter 2, the evolution and development of tourism. So for the learning objectives, at the end of the lesson, you will be able to explain the evolution and development of the tourism industry, explain the significant contribution of each event to the tourism industry. Okay, so let's start. So there are various stages of tourism history and development. So saan nga ba nagmula or paano ba nagsimula ang tourism and hospitality from the different era? So there are or these are the development of tourism. So first is the early forms of travel, the Empire era, the Middle Age era, the Renaissance era, the Grand Tour era, the mobility era, the modern era. So those are the 7 stages of uh, tourism history and evolution. Please remember that there are 7 stages. Okay, so first is the early forms of tourism. So during the early forms of tourism class, in the beginning, it was simple. Main reason for traveling was to survive. So people are traveling during the early period of times for survival. Okay, in order for them to seek for food or to seek for shelter because these early travelers move on foot. They were confined to fairly small geographic areas. Since hindi pa naman uso yung different transportation noong unang uh, panahon or in the early history. So people are traveling in order for them to survive or para maghanap ng ikabubuhay nila through their barefoot. So wala silang permanenteng tirahan or place. So they are being called as nomad as well. So they are traveling in order for them to survive. Also, or however, fortunately, human beings learned to use animals such as donkeys, horses, and camels for transportation during the 3000 to 5000 BC. So natuto or nalaman ng mga tao nung unang panahon na pwede pala nilang gamitin yung mga alaga nilang hayop in order for them to travel. Okay? So para mas magkaroon sila ng comfort or mas mapadali yung movement nila from one place to another. Next is around 3500 BC na imbento naman yung gulong na gawa sa kahoy or yung tinatawag nating solid disc. So namumutol sila ng mga malalaking puno and naimbento nila na pwede pala siyang gawing gulong or kalesa. So as you can see on the photo, this was the first um, tire or solid disc na nagamit nung unang panahon na ginagamit nila to hunt for their food or while they're moving from one place to another. Okay? So, yun yung mga um, nangyari during the early forms of travel na merong relation sa tourism. Next naman is the Empire era. So, merong iba't ibang kaharian or imperyo na nabuhay noong unang panahon and yung bawat imperyo ay merong contribution on the history and evolution of tourism. So, isa-isahin natin. The first one class is during the Egyptian Empire. Okay? During the Egyptian era, nagta-travel yung mga tao for business purposes or for pleasure. Okay? Or yung pagta-travel because gusto mo lang mag-relax or mag-enjoy ay nag-umpisa during the Egyptian period. Pati yung travel for business. Okay? Next naman, class, is they travel as well during the Egyptian period by boat or gamit yung mga bangka. And ginamit nila yung Nile River in order for them to transport foods, products, and services from one place to another. Okay? Next naman, pagdating ng Greece Empire, pinromote nila yung common use of language throughout the Mediterranean region. So, the reason why they are promoting common use of language para mas magkaintindihan sila or para magkaunawaan sila. Since they are coming from the different places, so tinuruan nila yung mga tao na magkaroon ng isang lengguwahe na pwede nilang gamitin in order for them to exchange communication. Followed by that is, ang ginagamit nila or ang common na pera or currency of exchange is yung pera ng mga Greek or ng mga Griego. Ito yung one of the example of the currency that they are using way back before. During the Roman Empire naman, class, nagkaroon ng oportunidad ang turismo para sa mga middle class at saka sa mga wealthy people or mayayaman. Kung nung dati, mayayaman lang yung nakaka-afford or nakaka-avail, nung dumating yung Roman Empire class, yung mga middle class na pamilya or tao ay nakakapag-travel na din. Okay? So, those are the empires that are belong to the history and evolution of tourism. Next naman, after the empire class, pumasok yung Middle Ages. Pag sinabi nating Middle Ages, ang tatandaan natin dito, the Dark Era. Okay? So, ano ba yung mga nangyari during the Middle Ages? In the Middle Ages or during the Dark Era, nangyari yung Crusades. When we say Crusades, class, it is a series of religious wars. Okay, naglalaban-laban ng iba't ibang religion or between Christians and Muslims in order for them to retake the Holy Land or kung sino yung magmamay-ari ng Holy Land na ngayon ay kilala natin bilang Israel. Okay? Sa Middle Age class, during this time or during those time, bumagsak yung Roman Empire. And nung bumagsak yung Roman Empire, ay naging mapanganib yung pagta-travel. Okay, that's why during the Middle Ages, zero travel. Walang naging travel. Nagsara lahat ng opportunities for tourism or for traveling. Kasi nga, yung mga tao or yung mga imperyo or ang mga religious institution during this time ay busy or mas nakafocus sila sa wars. Okay? Next. Nung natapos ang Middle Ages class, pumasok naman yung tinatawag nating Renaissance era. So, ma'am, ano po yung Renaissance era? Meaning, ang tatandaan nyo is when we say Renaissance era, the reborn period or yung pagkabuhay. Ibig sabihin, natapos na yung mga awayan ng iba't ibang religious institution, natapos na yung mga gyera, and nung pumasok yung Renaissance era, dito na naganap yung reborn or pagsisimula ulit ng mga tao. Kasi nga, yung mga nasira ng war, so on and so forth. So, dito, nung Renaissance era is naging open na ulit ang turismo or ang mga tourism opportunities. Now, ano ba yung mga notable happenings during the Renaissance era? The first one is yung travels of Marco Polo. So, ano ba yung travels of Marco Polo? Si Marco Polo ay isang Venetian merchant, explorer siya, and nag-travel siya through Asia along the Silk Road. So nakapag-travel siya sa iba't ibang parte ng Asia and Europa. So, bakit kaya siya nakapag-travel? Ano bang trabaho ni Marco Polo? So, si Marco Polo ay itinalaga or inappoint ng uh, Pamilya Khan, isa sa may pinaka makapangyarihang angka nung kanyang panahon na para maging isang tax collector. So, since yung Khan ay nagmamay-ari ng iba't ibang mga ari-arian at connection sa iba't ibang parte ng Southeast Asia at iba't ibang parte ng mundo, so nagkaroon ng oportunidad si Marco Polo na makapag-travel sa iba't ibang lugar. And during his travel, since mahilig siyang magsulat, so since writer nga siya, so sumulat siya ng libro kung saan dun sa librong na yon sinulat niya yung mga experiences niya, yung mga nakita niya during his travel. That's why yung libro na nasulat niya na yon tinawag na Travels of Marco Polo. Okay? Moving forward is the Syriacus. So, sino ba yung mga Syriacus? Okay, yung mga Syriacus class is they are traveling kasi ang focus nila ay learning or for educational purposes. So, ang unang turista na na-record is sa Ancona, Italy, na si Syriacus. So, ito yung photo niya as you can see on the screen. Okay? So, si Syriacus, ang purpose niya kasi kaya siya nagta-travel is meron siyang desire or meron siyang longingness sa iba't ibang lugar or sa iba't ibang environment or destination na ang focus niya ay educational benefits. Gusto niyang matuto ng way of life, ng culture, ng heritage, ng iba't ibang lugar. That's why, yun yung purpose niya bakit siya nagta-travel. Okay? Next class is the Grand Tour era. So, ano naman nangyayari during the Grand Tour era? So, ito yung panahon kung saan pinakamataas yung percentage or recorded ng luxurious travel and tourism activities na nag-originate sa mga mayayamang angkan noong mga panahon nila. And sa Grand Tour era class, ito ay mahabang paglalakbay or pagta-travel. And usually, yung mga sumasama sa Grand Tour era ay mga kasapi ng pinakamayayamang angkaan ng kanilang panahon. And hindi lang sila nagta-travel for the sake na makapag-travel lang. Okay? Very fashionista sila. So, nagsusuot sila ng magagarbong damit, nagpe-prepare talaga sila because in every travel destination doon during the Grand Tour era ay merong mga ginaganap na activities which is dumadalo sila. Okay? And during the Grand Tour era class, it is also considered that yung mga kalalakihan ay ine-encourage na mag-travel bilang parte ng kanilang pag-aaral. And nagpapakita rin nito yung status symbol nila. Ano yung katayuan nila sa buhay? Mayaman sila kapag sila ay nakakapag-travel. That's why men during those times are being um, look up by other people. Kasi kapag ikaw, lalaki, nakapag-travel ka abroad, nakapag-aral ka abroad, so ibig sabihin, ikaw ay belong sa mayayamang angkan or lipunan. So, yung Grand Tour era, tumagal siya ng 3.5 years. Okay? Yung 6 na buwan doon, ang kanilang ginagawa ay puro travel lamang. And the remaining 3 years, they are living abroad. Okay? Doing what they want. Okay? They are focusing on education or enhancing their skills and capabilities. Next is the Industrial Revolution. When we say Industrial Revolution, dito na nagsimula yung innovation or inventions ng iba't ibang makinarya and equipment para mapadali yung mga gawain natin. Okay? Dito na rin nagsimula yung pag-usbong ng iba't ibang industriya ng mga manufacturing industries, mga factories, buildings, infrastructures, so on and so forth. Okay, so Industrial Revolution was the transition from creating goods by hand to using machines. Kung dati mano-mano yung ginagawa natin para makapag-produce tayo ng mga products, pagdating ng Industrial Revolution, ginagamitan na natin siya ng iba't ibang makinarya. Okay, kung dati nakakapag-travel tayo, yung ticket na ina-avail natin, mano-mano nating sinusulat, ngayon, pwede na kayong mag-book online. Or yung ticket nyo, pwede nyo na siyang i-print kahit nasa bahay lang kayo because we already have the machines and equipment. And during Industrial Revolution class, doon din unang naimbento ni James Watt yung engine, steam engine. Ito yung picture ng steam engine. Yung steam engine ay pinapatakbo or pinapagana ng uling. Okay? Or ng coal. Okay? So, itong steam engine, ang isa sa pinakaunang technological advances kung saan nakakapagsakay ng maraming pasahero or travelers. Okay? Next is mobility era. When we say mobility, movement from one place to another. Okay, so pagdating ng mobility era class, mas marami nang naimbentong sasakyan. At nakapag-imbento na rin tayo ng eroplano, helicopter, charter, so on and so forth. So mas dumami or mas nag-boom yung transportation system natin. Now, the first invention of car is inimbento or nagkaroon ng mass production si Henry Ford's. Yung model nun is yung tinatawag nating Model T in 1914, which is nakatulong sa bawat tao na magkaroon ng kalayaan na mag-travel. Okay? Kasi kapag may sarili kang sasakyan, you can travel anything, anywhere, or anytime you want. Okay? Next is si Orville and Wilbur Wright naman ang unang nag-usher or nagpalipad ng successful test ng naimbentong airplane sa North Carolina. Okay, that's why these two American citizens are the pioneers in the airline or in the airplane industry. Next is the modern era. Ito na yung ngayon or yung nowadays. So, yung seeds ng mass tourism, when we say mass tourism class is maramihang or dumami yung mga tao na nagta-travel from one place to another. So, during that, nangyari yon during the 20th century. That's why we have to be thankful kay George Westinghouse. Bakit? Kasi siya yung nag-create ng vacation leaves, ng annual break para kapag gusto nating mag-unwind, mag-relax sa mga trabaho natin, so meron tayong benefits or privileges na kahit nagta-travel tayo, bayad pa rin tayo ng company natin. Kasi ang focus niya is reward siya na binibigay sa mga empleyado in order for them to increase their performance or productivity in the organization. Okay? Next is yung accommodation din or yung lodging ay nag-boom during the modern era. In the 1950s, dumami or nag-usbungan na yung mga hotels, motels, and other accommodation facilities. And doon na din naimbento yung mga franchising or yung mga business people na nakikipag-partner from one businessman to another para kumuha ng rights ng kanilang mga pag-aari na accommodation and lodging. Also, class, yung production ng jet travel and yung growth ng domestic and international travel ay mas umusbong din in the 1960s. Kung dati hindi natin na-identify kung ano yung type of travel natin, now nadidistinguish na natin kapag domestic yung travel natin or international. Usually, kapag international travel, they are requiring a lot of documents compared to domestic travel. And one of the most important document that we really need to process during the international travel or kapag mag-a-abroad kayo or mag-out of the country is your passport. Okay? Next is, sino ba yung mga nakilala or sumikat na tao in the travel history? First is si Thomas Cook. Si Thomas Cook ay considered as the father of the modern tourism. Okay, why? He was the first person to introduce tour package. When we say tour package, magkakasama na doon accommodation, transportation, meals, attractions, tours. Okay? So, dati or before, siya yung unang nag-organize ng first tour na kinabibilangan ng 485 travelers or tourists. Okay? Na nakatira or nanggaling sa England. Ang unang bayad is 1 shilling or 12 pence. Okay? So, ito yung mga sample pictures ng mga packages na ino-offer ni Thomas Cook before. Next is si Thomas Bennett. Ano naman yung contribution ni Thomas Bennett sa tourism industry? So, si Thomas Bennett naman, class, is yung unang tao na nag-offer ng individual inclusive travel. Ibig sabihin, nag-offer siya ng tour packages kahit isang tao lang yung nag-a-avail or kahit hindi grupo. Kasi yung tao na yon ayaw niya mahirapan na mag-book ng sarili niyang mga accommodation, transportation. That's why nag-a-avail siya ng package kahit mag-isa lang siya. So, in the 1850, sinet up niya yung business niya at tinawag niya itong a trip organizer. Okay? And that's the end of the discussion about the history and evolution of tourism industry.